So what is music? How do you define music? What tells your brain that music is music and it's not just sound on the street, it's not just noise? Uh, what parts of noise might you incorporate in music that you enjoy that somebody else might not? Who knows? That's all kind of a subjective investigation that we're going to delve into throughout this semester. So first off, we need to figure out a definition for music itself before we jump into talking about specific styles and characteristics throughout the timeline of music in classical genre specifically, but also how it equates to stuff you might listen to more so on a regular daily basis of popular music, hip hop, rock, jazz, blues, heavy metal, electronic music of any sort. How do those musics discern themselves from one another, and so on and so forth? So, first and foremost, how do we define music? To me, in the most general sense, music is organized sound over time. That organization is what we're going to talk about throughout the semester. The way those different elements are organized in a piece of music tell us that it is what it is. It comes from the time period of maybe the medieval period, the classical period, the 20th century, that it's Mozart, Beethoven, Bach, whomever you're listening to. And so, in that investigation, the first step after we define music, what is sound? Sound, from the Harvard Dictionary, is vibrations that travel through air or another medium and can be heard when they reach a person or animal's ears. So some sort of sound waves, sound pressures moving through the air that hit our eardrums and create reactions in our brain waves that tell us certain sounds are happening around us, certain events. First off, thinking of hunters sneaking up on us or something of that nature in a more primitive fashion, but in a more learned fashion of music, sound, we hear different stuff, new things, more artistic expression type things instead of just the general sounds of, oh, there's a car coming, and stuff of that nature. Noise, on the other hand, is a sound, especially one that is loud and unpleasant, that causes a disturbance in the force, the movement, the air around you. So again, very open-ended. You, as the listener, have to decide what is noise and what is not noise, what is sound, what is music, in those categories. Generally, as well, with noise, we often think of it as the random fluctuations of sound. So you can't hear a specific, say, pitch or rhythm out of it. Turn on a radio or TV or something like that when you're not tuned into a specific channel or station. The white noise that we hear there, that static sound, that sound, that's what we refer to as noise. It's a combination of all the frequencies happen at the same time in just random motions. So noise, sound, turning into music, again, it's all predominantly up to you as the listener to decide and determine which is which, how do they all intertwine, and then also the good and bad of it as well. But that's all, again, subjective. So, as we're discussing and listening to music, we need to figure out and think of the where, why, how, what, and why we listen to music. The where, the when. Do we listen to it at night, in the morning, throughout our day, are we working out, just walking to school, when we're studying, stuff of that nature? Is it at a party, a celebration of some sort? Is it, are we listening to music for a relaxation kind of thing, or is it to kind kind of amp us up for events that are about to come, stuff of that nature. Where do we listen to music? Again, are you at home? Are you at the gym? Are you at school? Are you at a coffee shop, a restaurant? And wherever you might be, how does that affect what you're hearing or what you're listening to? How you interpret the sounds that are coming into your ears, into your brain, and so forth. Why we listen to music, that's always the biggest question there. It's kind of, a lot of times it's helps change our mood. If we're in a bad mood, we'll listen to our favorite music, and it'll put us in a better mood, or relax us, take us out of the stress of the day, stuff of that nature. And just the sheer enjoyment of, wow, this sound that these instruments are putting together at this moment in time sounds beautiful. Or it's a very tense, ugly sound that's kind of telling us in a movie that a murderer is sneaking up behind you with a big axe. Something of that nature, What do we listen to? That's all the Who's and artist albums that we'll talk about specifically for the class, as throughout music history and Western classical music here, but also popular music. You gotta know who you're listening to, what you're listening to, not just that song. You gotta know who it is, who's playing it, who wrote it, stuff of that nature. Big thing to think about in our modern times, is right here, right now, is how we listen to music, because music in some form or fashion generally accompanies our day. It's almost become like that white noise I was talking about earlier. If you go to a restaurant, you go to the grocery store, the gym, there's always music on and around us, and at some point we filter it out, and then you can think of it in that category like white noise, because it's just there. You're not listening to it to listen to it and understand exactly what's happening. It's just there. So with this class, we are definitely going to sink into and delve into specific attentive listening, so we know what we're listening to, why we're listening to it, and giving each listen that we put to music here, give it a purpose, so it's not just happening. And then also just thinking again in how we listen to music, especially with modern technology, with the iPhones, the MP3s of the world. Are you listening to it in a digital format like that? Are you listening to it on an LP at home? On a big stereo with big speakers, or the little bookshelf speakers, or even just the little tiny speakers in, say, like a laptop. Or even better yet, are you actually going to see live music here in a live concert hall with live musicians sitting on stage performing for you? Totally different realms and experiences of music. It could be the same piece, hearing it and seeing it live versus a recorded version of it, and even how and when you're listening to that recording, what you're doing during the time does affect what you hear, or what you really listen for out of it. So really keep those things in mind. It's very, very important to what we're going to do this semester here. So last food for thought here, Plato, that guy from ancient Greece, he was once quoted as saying, to control the people, control the music. So take control of it, listen to it, hear what's really happening in the music. Don't just put it on as background fodder or noise to create some kind of distraction for you. So really listen to music. Enjoy.